flood season is from July to late September.
This is the time you can begin to clean or continue cleaning your drainages. This is the time you can knock off structures that are within the floodplains by the banks of rivers. This is the time you can do sensitization program. Sensitize the people that are living within the floodplain. You can do it now and let them be aware that we are getting into the peak of flooding proper.
While the flood cannot be stopped, if the experiences of past years in Nigeria are anything to go by, experts recommend adaptation strategies. Onengiye Fine Face, NTA News.
In the meantime, economic experts are advocating the creation of employment opportunities as well as the provision of adequate health facilities as a panacea to tackle the nation's economic challenges. This is a position of concerned citizens, including Ben Akabweze, Director General and Budget Office of the Federation, at an economic summit put together by the Catholic Diocese of Ondo. Kayode Olorundare reports.
For the Economic Summit, which had both physical and virtual participants, among other themes, profiled measures to ensure tremendous growth and transformation in Nigeria's agricultural sector and emphasized macro and microeconomic relationship for Nigerians.
Nigeria has a public expenditure ratio of 12% of GDP. And I'm talking about when we aggregate what all of the tiers of government. We also have the lowest tax to GDP ratio in the world. In the next couple of years, Nigeria and Congo DRC, which is another resource-rich country in Africa, will produce 40% of the poorest people on the planet.
The summit is about articulating and analyzing first the Nigerian situation through the Catholic social teachings and move from those analyses now to solutions, policy proposals.
Attitudinal change of both government leaders and citizens alike, participants say, is much needed now.
Human development has to do with a kind of holistic development, from the childhood development in the family into childhood education, into the social dynamics. We eat what we don't produce, and we produce what we don't eat. That means there is imbalance.
The summit was organized by the Catholic Diocese of Ondo in collaboration with the University of Notre Dame, the Nicholas Institute for Ethics and Culture, and Pute Institute for Global Development. In Nakure, Kayode Olorundare, NTA News.
The Minister of Interior, Rauf Arabeshola, has advised state governments to build holding centers for awaiting trial suspects and sign the death warrants of condemned criminals to decongest custodial facilities across the country. The minister gave the advice at the inauguration of the Osun State Command Headquarters complex of the Nigerian Correctional Service in Osogbo.
This Osun State Command Main Office Complex is one of the federal infrastructures being built by the service across the 6 zones of the country. Minister of Interior Rauf Arabeshola acknowledged the various measures undertaken by the President Muhammadu Buhari's administrations aimed at decongesting custodial facilities. He used the inauguration to appeal to state government to accelerate the wheel of justice, as a lot of inmates have been in custody for a period longer than the maximum sentence their alleged offense carry, noting that currently custodial facilities have shot above the capacity by 8%.
As we see and admire in other, especially developed countries, where trials and judgments are wrapped up in one week. If we do this, then definitely there will be a lot of relief for the custodial facilities and the inmates they are in.
Governor Boyega Oyetola, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, commended the federal government for providing a conducive working environment for staff, assuring them that the state is ready to provide land for the residential accommodation.
Inmates are part of the capacity the nation needs to achieve its objectives. We must do all in our capacity to rehabilitate them, reintegrate them into the society for a collective and sustainable development.
The Controller General Nigeria Correctional Service, Aleru Nababa, who expressed the appreciation of the Correctional Service to National Assembly members for their commitment to equipping the service for optimal performances, gave an assurance that the service will justify the federal government's gesture.
Between 2015 and now, there has been a significant improvement in infrastructure development, with several projects undertaken and completed for use.
The custodial facilities, which have a capacity for 57,278 inmates, is currently having a population of 68,774 inmates. Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
The National Industrial Court Abuja Judicial Division has stopped the National Nigerian Civil Service Union, NCSU, from either picketing the offices of the Federal Inland Revenue Service nationwide or calling for strike at any of the services offices across Nigeria. Justice O.Y. Onue issued the order of interim injunction on Friday in a suit which the FIRS as claimant and applicant instituted against NCSU, the defendant and respondent. Leah Katun Babatunde tells us more.
The board of the Federal Inland Revenue Service FIRS on the 18th of July 2021 announced the dissolution of the Nigerian Civil Service Union NCSU FIRS unit, whose executive members are senior staff representing the junior staff cadre that is non-existent in the service, a development that was leading to an industrial dispute. The FIRS therefore sought intervention of the Industrial Court, and this Friday, the National Industrial Court ordered that the respondents are restrained from picketing the offices of the applicant on 26th of July 2021 or any other day pending the determination of the motion on notice. They are also restrained from going on strike, as by so doing the very essence of the substantive suit is defeated. What this translates to, in other words, is that parties are to maintain the status quo and are not to do anything that may be detrimental to the interest of the public pending the determination of the motion and notice. In another suit, in which the NCSU is suing the FRS, the court refused the prayer of the union seeking an order compelling the FRS to continue the automatic deduction of checkoff dues for the NCSU dissolved last week from the salaries of the services workers. Both cases were adjourned to 15 October 2021 for hearing of the motion and notice and originating summons. Abdullahi Ismail Ahmed, Director Communications and Liaison Department of the FRS, in a statement clarified that the right of workers to decide on which union to belong to is absolute but must be exercised within the limits of the Trade Union Act Cap T1411 2004, a position confirmed in the judgment of the National Industrial Court NCSU versus ASCSN in 2004. The statement assured of management's unreserved willingness to work and cooperate with the only legitimate representatives of staff, which in this case is the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, urging staff to redouble their efforts in executing the FIRS's mandate of assessing, collecting, and accounted for tax revenue for all levels of government as contained in the FIRS Establishment Act 2007. In Abuja, Leah Katungbaba today, NTA News.
And in Jalingo, the Federal High Court has reserved judgment in a suit filed by one Garba Chede of the All Progressives Congress, APC, against Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and four others over two certificates of return in circulation that are set to be issued by INEC regarding 2019 election for Bali Gasol Federal Constituency of Taraba State. Let's get details from Adamu Haruna.
Battle for who legitimately owns mandate of the people of Bali Gasol Federal Constituency still lingers before the Temple of Justice. The applicant, Garba Chede, dragged the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, member representing Bali Gasol at House of Representatives, Abdul Salam Gambo Mubarak, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, and two others before the Federal High Court sitting in Jalingo, seeking interpretations of the law regarding legality or otherwise of issuance of two certificates of return by the first respondent, INEC, to two different persons for the same elective position. also for determination is whether a person who does not participate in primary and secondary elections can be declared and returned winner of an election. The first respondent, INEC, and the fifth respondent, Abdusalam Mubarak, filed 6 and 10 grounds respectively to convince the court that the suit is lacking in merit, but the court proceeded to entertain the matter to the end.
There was a judgment of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court did not make any consequential order or relief that certificate of return be issued or a certificate of return be withdrawn. So we wrote to INEC. We say, INEC, can you explain to us the legality why you gave the certificate of return to the fifth respondent? Because we want to be enlightened. If you satisfy us based on our correspondence, we let the matter lie low. But then there was no response from INEC chairman. And then they issued another certificate of return without withdrawing the certificate of return that belongs to my clients.
All our duties is to present to the court the document necessary, with the laws necessary, that the court will look into it and interpret. Once the court said yes, the issuance of the certificate of returns to the fifth respondent is valid, then so be it. Once the court nullifies it, so be it.
Counsel to the fifth respondent, Abdusalam Mubarak, declined comments. Presiding Judge, Justice Simon Amobida, adjourns the matter for judgment to an indefinite date. In Jalingo, Adam Haruna Adams, NTA News.
You're watching the news as 3 on NTA News 24. We have more reports for you, but right after this break. Now, data from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control indicates rising cases of cholera in the country, having been confirmed in 18 states under FCT. Hakimat Aliyu in this background report brings us up to speed with the latest situation.
Cholera, a diarrhea disease that can kill within hours if not promptly treated, is endemic in Nigeria, with outbreaks being reported as far back as the 18th century. According to experts, cholera is associated with unhealthy environments, open defecation, and lack of clean water. Further research by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control shows that Nigeria recorded more than 10,000 suspected cholera cases between January and June 2021, with daily increase in figures. From 5th to 11th July, a total of 1,885 suspected cases of cholera were reported from Bauchi, Kano, Jigawa, Niger, Plateau, Zamfara, Kaduna, Kwara, and FCT. Of these, 17 laboratory investigations are confirmed as cholera from 3 states and 31 deaths from 4 states in 1 week. Health authorities, however, say they are working on all important interventions to end the scourge of the disease in the country through surveillance and response, while urging all to adhere strictly to general hygiene. Hakimat Aliyu, NTA News.
The number of COVID-19 infections in the country has continued to rise, with Nigeria recording 370 new cases. The latest figures released by Nigerian Center for Disease Control. Lagos has the highest confirmed cases of 171, followed by Akwa Ibom with 62, Oyo 33, Rivers 32, Ekiti and FCT have 5 each, Ogun 3, Sokoto reported 2 cases, while Bayelsa, Gombe and Kano presented a case each. This brings to 170,623 confirmed cases in Nigeria, with 164,780 of them treated and discharged, while the death toll is at 2,131. And 500 members of the Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, and widows of policemen who died in active service in Borno State have been empowered by the national president of the association, Hajara Usman Al-Khali Baba. The national president, POA, empowered the women in Maiduguri during her official visit to the state. Maimuna Garba reports.
The visit to Borno by the National President Police Officers' Wives Association POA was, among other things, to familiarize herself with various POA members across the nation and encourage them to be self-reliant, hence the empowerment drive as part of her 3-point agenda to reposition the association for the better.
Too happy, as if I should lift that mama up like this.
This is one of the beneficiaries of the National President of POA's Empowerment Program who got grinding machine. Other beneficiaries took home refrigerators, mattresses, clothing materials, and foodstuff, among others. Addressing members of POA, the national president Hajara Usman Al-Khali Baba warned against indiscipline and called for unity and peaceful coexistence amongst members, while encouraging them to support their husbands to enable them remain focused on their duties. The POA president also enjoined members to engage on trades to become self-reliant.
I was fully prepared for 500 women. Inshallah, if I'm alive, I think from here I'm moving to another state.
On behalf of POA Borno State, Barrister Zara Yakubu commended the national president's initiative in transforming the association and assured of their maximum support. Awards were presented to POA members who distinguished themselves in their jobs. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
In Nasarawa State, the police command has paraded 61 suspects in Lafia who specialize in different criminal activities. Abari Solomon reports that among the suspects are 3 persons arrested for the possession of counterfeit currencies worth more than 7 million naira.
Criminal conspiracy, fraudulent transaction, and unlawful possession of fake currency, counterfeit currency, all in 1,000 naira denomination, were subsequently recovered from there. In addition to this, a total sum of 110,000 fake dollar currency. The counterfeit currencies recovered have been taken to the Central Bank of Nigeria for further action.
Out of the 61 suspects, 5 are kidnappers, 38 cultists, 8 armed robbers, and 2 rail vandals. Items recovered from the suspects include 7 firearms, 7 live ammunition, gas cylinder, laptops and mobile phones, motorcycles, and local charms, among others. Commissioner of Police explained that the police and other security agents, as well as the community policing initiative, are working in harmony to get rid of criminal elements in the state. Mr. Bolalongi, however, salutes the support the command is receiving from members of the public, as he said police cannot fight crime effectively without information and intelligence gathering. The suspects are expected to be arraigned in court after investigations. In Lafia, Abari Solomon, NTA News.
You're watching the news desk at 3, reaching you from our studios in Abuja. Here is a quick reminder of our top stories. Against recent flash flood incidents in Europe, Asia, and the US, Nigeria's Hydrological Services Agency gives concerns for the nation.
Sensitize the people that are living within the flood. You can do it now, and let them be aware that we are getting into the peak of flooding problem.
Minister Arubishola taxed state governments on means to decongesting custodial facilities across the country.
If we do this, then definitely there will be a lot of relief to the custodial facilities and the email they are in.
And COVID-19 infection in the country climbs in 24 hours, with Nigeria recording 317 new cases.
This is NTA News 24.
And in the world of sports, Sunshine Stars of Akure battle Nasarawa United in Nigeria Cup semi-final. Let's get details from our sport desk.
Sunshine Stars will battle informed Nasarawa United in the semi-finals of the 2021 Aito Cup after dumping holders Kano Pillars out of the competition with a 1-0 win at the Lokoja Center, while Rivers United playing Bayelsa United. Sadiq Yusuf scored the only goal in the 48th minute as the Akure-based side held on for a famous win despite a late charge from the champions. In the other quarter-final fixture, Silas Walkers for the fifth Nasarawa United edged Gombe United at the for a continental ticket from the league as they are currently placed second on the log. Rivers United ended Niger Tornadoes' dream of a place in the semi-finals with a stoppage time goal from striker Fortune Omonewari in the 92nd minute. Bayelsa United's dream of playing continental football remained intact after they sent Gateway United packing from the competition courtesy of a 5-4 penalty win after regulation time ended 1-1. Meanwhile, Nigeria's sole representative in the rowing event at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Esther Toko, is optimistic of qualifying for the quarterfinals today. Competing at the Games for the first time, Toko finished 5th in the women's singles scull event in a time of 8:58.49 seconds. Despite her position, she still stands the chance to qualify for the quarterfinals if she excels in the repechage later today.
Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, alongside his deputy, Hadiza Balarabe, and traditional rulers have attended the funeral ceremony of former Kaduna State Deputy Governor Barnabas Yusuf Balabantex. The Thanksgiving service of the former Kaduna State Deputy Governor Barnabas Yusuf Balabantex, who died few days ago in Abuja, took place earlier in his hometown, Manchok, Kaura local government area of the state. And that concludes the news at 3. Many thanks for watching. Do join the NTA in the fight against rape and rapists. I am Comfort Amadou.